to be answered. Time is still on your side. The pads still feel good. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. A new team welcomes you and challenges you. There's always room to grow. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at naia.org.
Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work.
There's a call to be answered. Time is still on your side. The pads still feel good. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. A new team welcomes you and challenges you. There's always room to grow. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at naia.org. There's a call to be answered. Time is still on your side. The pads still feel good. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. A new team welcomes you and challenges you. There's always room to grow. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at naia.org. There's a call to be answered. Time is still on your side. The pads still feel good. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. A new team welcomes you and challenges you. There's always room to grow. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at naia.org. There's a call to be answered. Time is still on your side. The pads still feel good. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. A new team welcomes you and challenges you. There's always room to grow. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at naia.org. There's a call to be answered. Time is still on your side. The pads still feel good. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. A new team welcomes you and challenges you. There's always room to grow. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at naia.org. There's a call to be answered. Time is still on your side. The pads still feel good. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. A new team welcomes you and challenges you. There's always room to grow. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at naia.org. There's a call to be answered. Time is still on your side. The pads still feel good. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. A new team welcomes you and challenges you. There's always room to grow. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at naia.org. There's a call to be answered. Time is still on your side. The pads still feel good. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. A new team welcomes you and challenges you. there's always room to grow. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at naia.org.
Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work.
You're listening to the Bulldog Sports Network, brought to you by Lowe Sporting Goods, your athletic specialist. This is the Bulldog Sports Network on the home of Union College Athletics, WYWI 93.3, and online at ucbulldogs.com. Now, here's the voice of the Bulldogs, John North.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Hiwassee Arena on the campus of beautiful Union College. As tonight, only one game on tap as the Union Bulldogs look to keep the foot on the throttle as Hiwassee College makes the trek up to Barberville to try to end the Bulldogs' hot streak. Not a lot is known about this Hiwassee team, but they have come close to knocking off Union rival Tennessee Wesleyan early in the year. They lost that one by one, but one thing we do know, they'll be in the hunt to make up for that loss as they try to knock off number 25 ranked Bulldogs on their home turf. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Hiwassee Arena. I'm the voice of the Bulldogs, John North. A big hello to all of our friends, family, and alumni as we get you set for basketball action. Also, on our viewers live on Channel 62, local Barberville cable. Glad to have you as I'm joined by my broadcast partner for tonight, a very special guest, a senior standout for the women's basketball team, Mara Ice. Mara, glad to have you up here instead of broadcasting your games. How does it feel to be up here on the broadcast booth?
It's a little nerve-wracking, I'm not going to lie. It's my first time up here, but I'm really excited to be on a different side of the game for once and to get to actually talk about it and conversate about it instead of being out there playing. So.
Absolutely. So, the key to it all is you don't have to know what you're talking about. You just have to pretend to know what you're talking about. That's the secret nobody tells you about broadcasting. Yeah, just make it up and sound like you know what you're talking about. But very glad to have you on board, getting some experience up here broadcasting. We're about 10 minutes and 37 seconds away from tip. With that, we're going to take our first commercial break. When we come back, we'll break down these two teams a little more on paper, at least on the Union side. As we said, not a lot of stats there on Hiwassee. But we'll be right back. You're listening to the Bulldog Sports Network.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bulldog Sports Network. About 9 minutes, 46 seconds away from tip. I'm the voice of the Bulldogs, John North, alongside Mara Rice. I hope I don't call you Mason Elam much this evening, or let alone Brad Fieldhouse. So my two previous broadcast partners. But as we come in, Union ranked number 25 in the nation in the NAIA Division II poll, 17-13 overall, 10-1 in the AAC. Mara was scheduled to have a doubleheader here on Saturday, but some inclement weather happened, got that canceled. So I guess I think they're going to try to make that up next Monday, but that's not official. But how does this team was ready to play Saturday. You end up just having practice. On the women's side, did you guys have practice that day, or did you guys have a walkthrough, or how'd it go?
We were actually at shoot-around when we found out that the game was canceled, so we went ahead and finished shoot-around and found out right after to reschedule. We went ahead and got the weekend off considering we didn't play tonight.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of changed our focus a little bit. We're focusing now on Milligan instead of VI.
Yeah.
And VI had just played against Bryan and beaten Bryan, so they were coming in with a lot of momentum. So it was going to be a tough game for us and a big game for us. So now we're kind of trying to refocus, look at some things that Milligan does and what we need to prepare for them. So.
Absolutely. Well, you see a lot of this men's team, not only because I know your expertise is obviously the women's team, but if we go on double headers, there's nothing to do except sit and watch the men's team afterwards. Right. So up until this point, what have you seen out of this men's team that you like?
I love their intensity. I love that they're fast-paced. They're a quick team. They're run and gun. They're not afraid to shoot the ball. They're not afraid to take the drive and to really, they just play with a lot of intensity and a lot of energy, and that's so much fun as a fan and as another player to watch. It just keeps the game interesting, and they're always great to watch.
I agree with that, and also, this team can play fast. One thing I've noticed is what I think is very important is this team can grind it out. Because a lot of times when you got a team that plays fast, what are teams that not as good going to do? They're going to try to grind it out with you. This team has shown several times that they can grind it out with some teams. They had to grind it out against St. Andrews. They had to grind it out against Bryan. Both had great game plans to beat Union. Couldn't do it. So very much. What would you like to see this men's team improve on heading down the stretch in conference, if anything?
I think one of the things that they do need to improve on is occasionally being smarter with their choices.
Yeah.
Occasionally they'll try to want to do too much, or they're so ready for the game they want to beat this team so bad. Like I saw at Montreat the other night, they came out first half and they weren't being smart with their choices on shots. They weren't being smart with the ball, so they were taking quick shots and they weren't good shots. So it was really close, first half of Montreat. Second half they came out, they slowed it down. They took the shots that they needed to take, and they ended up, making it a 24-point margin game. So that's just something that they do every now and then, and you can tell that Coach Burton, thinks the same thing, and he usually tries to calm them down and get them back into, routine. So
one thing I have noticed about this men's team is we're about 6 minutes, 37 seconds away from tip. They come out, the last couple games, come out on fire there in the second half. So good to see that they come out with that momentum. And that second half run in the last couple games, actually, as you said, they were trailing in that Montreat game. It was a very close game against Reinhardt, too, if you remember that one. Nobody's going to remember that because they ended up blowing Reinhardt out. But they come out of that second half run. So I'm very interested to see if they can continue that streak of coming out of halftime on a run.
I would like to see them come out and maybe get a good run in the first half. Just really step on somebody from the get-go. And that's what they're going to have to do going down the conference line because teams know what you're going to do. They're prepared. They've played you once before already, so it's going to be a different type of matchup going around through the second round of all of our games, all of our conference games. So they're going to need some time to just come out and just really step on somebody from the get-go, to just put them away, not give them that confidence and let them linger around.
Good point, because this team, I don't think this team has put together a full 40-minute foot-on-the-throttle game, even against the Alice Lloyd, even against the Crown College. Saw a little lull in the first half, so good point. Maybe very interesting to see if they can come out tonight. Hiwassee over here warming up to our right up here in the broadcast booth. Big shout-out to Jessica Frisbee, my producer today, and also Mason Elam down on the floor camera. He's going to have all the close-ups for you, and also my color commentator, Mara Rice. Glad to have her on as well. We're about 5 minutes away from tip. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. You're listening to the Bulldog Sports Network.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I'm a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I'm a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Whether it's new or used parts you need, car parts, truck parts, SUV parts, foreign and domestic parts, any part from A to Z, Davis Salvage and Auto Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin has it or can find it. Davis Salvage specializes in late model auto and truck parts. For over 40 years, the Davis family has supplied customers all over the United States with new and used auto and truck parts. Davis Salvage open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. or online at davissalvage.com. Take a look at their inventory. Davis Salvage and Truck Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin, the only place to go for all your vehicle needs. Whether it's new or used parts you need, car parts, truck parts, SUV parts, foreign and domestic parts, any part from A to Z, Davis Salvage and Auto Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin has it or can find it. Davis Salvage specializes in late model auto and truck parts. For over 40 years, the Davis family has supplied customers all over the United States with new and used auto and truck parts. Davis Salvage open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. or online at davissalvage.com. Take a look at their inventory. Davis Salvage and Truck Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin, the only place to go for all your vehicle needs.
Pool parties are making a huge splash at the new Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center in Barberville, home of the area's only indoor Olympic-sized swimming pool. Guests will enjoy 2 hours of fun in both the pool and party room. Parties are now being scheduled for any day of the week. Book yours today. Call 546-0005 or visit us on the web at stiverscenter.org. Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center. It's good for you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bulldog Sports Network, as I'm joined by
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I'm a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bulldog Sports Network. We're about a minute 18 now away from tip-off. I'm the voice of the Bulldogs, John North, alongside at Mara Rice. Quickly breaking down some stats here for Union. We don't have any stats on Hiwassee, so I guess that's going to be a common theme for the night. Union shooting 49% from field goal range on the season, 32% from long range, 71% from the charity stripe, 87.8 points per game. Very high-scoring team, and 41.1 rebounds per game. And like I said, no stats for Hiwassee. Union stands at 10-1 in the AAC, 17-3 overall. So under a minute to go here in the pregame. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back with your national. We'll be back. We're going to break for our national anthem. We'll be back with keys to the game and starting lineups. You're listening to the Bulldog Sports Network.
Whether it's new or used parts you need, car parts, truck parts, SUV parts, foreign and domestic parts, any part from A to Z. Davis Salvage and Auto Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin has it or can find it. Davis Salvage specializes in late model auto and truck parts. For over 40 years, the Davis family has supplied customers all over the United States with new and used auto and truck parts. Davis Salvage, open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. or online at davissalvage.com. Take a look at their inventory. Davis Salvage and Truck Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin, the only place to go for all your vehicle needs.
Pool parties are making a huge splash at the new Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center in Barberville, home of the area's only indoor Olympic-sized swimming pool. Guests will enjoy 2 hours of fun in both the pool and party room. Parties are now being scheduled for any day of the week. Book yours today. Call 546-0005 or visit us on the web at stiverscenter.org. Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center. It's good for you.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bulldog Sports Network as we are underway, at least the starting lineups are about to be underway. Just had our national anthem. Quickly, Mara, before we get started, what's your keys to the game for tonight?
I think definitely like we talked about, playing a full 40 minutes, coming out with intensity and energy in the first half, not just the second half. Taking care of the ball is a big factor. It always is a big factor. And great shot selection. We need to be smart about the shots we're choosing and make sure that we're really taking what the defense is giving us.
Absolutely. I put you on the spot there. You nailed it there. It was a good test. I said, you got any keys to the game? And then you said no, and then you busted out 3 for me right there. I only asked for 1. So a good job on that as Hiwassee just got their starters. We're going to try to get those for you right now as it's going to be number 10, David Lane, starting from parts unknown. I don't know what his hometown is. It looks like number 1, that's Jeff Golden, the junior, 6'7". Number 12, Howie Meadows, sophomore, 6'2", forward. And we'll get the other 2 for you when they come out. But for the Union College Bulldogs, they're going to be led out by number 31, DeAndre Stevens, the 5'10" sophomore out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Number 14, Michael Buter, the 6'1" freshman out of Newport, Kentucky. Number 54, Deontay Johnson, the 6'8" junior out of Cincinnati, Ohio. And number 5, Fitzgerald Watt, the 6'7" junior out of Miami, Florida. And I believe I got them all, didn't I, Mara?
I think so.
So try to get that other Hiwassee starter for you as they break the huddle. As Union will be in their white uniforms, black numerals with orange outline. Hiwassee in their black with, what would you call that? Yellow, trimmed in yellow with red numerals and letters?
Maroon, maybe.
Yeah, maroon. Tomato, I guess. Both these teams huddle up. There's the buzzers. We should be ready to tip this one off. Glad to have you here on the Bulldog Sports Network. So we missed you on Saturday as that one got canceled, postponed, due to inclement weather. Have looking like Monday is the date we're going to make that one up next Monday. We'll see. As I believe the Hiwassee starter that I missed was number 5, Justin Browner, the 5'10" senior. As it's going to be Thomas Funches. No, excuse me. It's going to be Jeff Golden and Gerard Newby. That's the starter I missed. Stepping into the center circle to tip this one off. Union will be going right to left. Left to right as the Hiwassee Tigers will go right to the left. Out front to Steven. Steven looks inside to White in the corner, three on the way. No good. Rims out. Rebounded offensively by Johnson, who gets it back out to White. Over to Buter. Deep right wing. Goes into Johnson. See what the game plan is early. Johnson may got away with a walk, but he's going to go to the line for a foul. See what the game plan is early, as I said, Mara, as they look to go into Johnson immediately.
I think that's going to be a big key tonight. Deontay's obviously extremely strong in the post, and as long as he keeps taking it and keeps getting fouled, then they're going to be just fine for tonight.
Also leads this team in scoring with 13.5 points a contest. Also leading in the board 6.6 per contest. So Deontay Johnson definitely a game plan. Not many in the AAC can guard him, but Hiwassee's got some size. We'll see what they can do to him as Johnson goes 1 for 2 at the line. Now Hiwassee going to take over. Browner bringing it over the timeline as he sets the offense. Union coming out in that little, it's kind of a 3-2 zone. I call it more of a diamond from the looks of it. As it goes over to the corner for Funchess. Now over to the far corner for Meadows. Meadows back out front.
I think keeping White up top is a good idea. He's long, he's lean, he's quick. He can definitely get deflections on the pass, so that zone is hopefully going to work for tonight.
I mentioned that before on the broadcast. I love how Coach Burton puts Fitzgerald White up at the front of that zone instead of back in the back, because he's got his shot blockers with Newby and Johnson back there. So why not put White up front, try to get a couple steals on the break.
Add a little extra length on the top.
Absolutely. Buter out front. He's guarded by Meadows. Drives out front to Stevens. We know Stevens can launch it from there, but he goes inside of Johnson. Johnson working on Funchess, goes up, partially blocked. Now, off the other way goes Browner. Browner working on Stevens. Pull-up jumper, 15-footer on the way. Good. Smooth. As Hiwassee takes their first lead of the game, 2-1. 18:42 left to play. First half. Quickly the other way. White goes up and lays it in.
From what we can tell so far, Hiwassee's looking to push the ball as well, and they look to seem like they have some quick guards as well, so we're going to have to be sure to guard that in transition.
Yeah, it looks like going to have no problem with scoring or trying to score. They don't look to maybe slow it down like we've seen other teams do. As Funchess goes up with a baby hook, it goes in. 4-3 is your score. Union going the other way now. Stevens brings it over the timeline. Top of the key, looks for Johnson rolling, doesn't have him, kicks it way out front to Buter. Buter goes into a nice pass to Johnson. Johnson blocked at the rim. Now Hiwassee going the other way. That's Lane. Out front to Browner. Browner puts up a floater. No good. Rebounded by Buter.
Johnson's going to have to really stay strong in there. I mean, there's some bigger players for the other team, and they're going to have to take it up strong every time they go, or they're not going to get the fouls called.
So far, Fitzgerald White has been the catalyst for Hiwassee. As he owns 4 of the 5 points thus far. It's Hiwassee 4, Fitzgerald White 4 at the moment. Browner going to bring it over the line, guarded by Stevens. Maybe a little man-to-man now look for Union. Switch it up a little. Browning goes down the middle, tries to finger roll up on Buter. No good. Way out front to Stevens, who's all by himself. Gathers layup, missed it. I find it hilarious, Mara, that three-point shooters like Stevens can hit it from 40 foot out, but they can't hit it from 2 feet out on the layup.
I have no comment, because that is me every game. It happens every game, and it's the ones that are wide open.
I guess it's too
easy. About it,
yeah,
you're just thinking, this can't be real. You know, this is wide open. So it's a lot easier to do than what you would think.
Funchess takes a wild shot. He's a load to handle. He's step for step with Johnson thus far. Stevens now going to pull up for a long one. No good. Rims out. No, it's not Funchess. That's Golden. Gets the rebound over Johnson. Up ahead to Browning. Browning lobs it up. Good for number 10, and that's Lane. As quickly Hiwassee's jumped up to the 6-5 lead. Coach Burton does not like what he sees, so he is going to call a timeout.
Just like I was talking about there, Hiwassee's really looking to push the ball. They're keeping it going in transition, so we're gonna have to guard in transition for sure.
Yeah, Coach Burton not happy with that transition defense, which is why he called the timeout there. As too many easy layups for Hiwassee, and this Hiwassee team, as I said, that we don't know a lot about them, but I do know they're not a pushover. You can see already the athletes they have out there on the floor. They got the same pieces really Union has if you think about it. Match, step for step thus far. They got Funchess as a big load inside the paint. As it's going to be tough for Union to guard him, but him and Johnson, watching them is a great matchup. But as I was saying, this team did only lose to Tennessee Wesleyan by 1, and we know the traditional powerhouse that Tennessee Wesleyan is in the AAC.
Definitely shows that they can fight with the best of them, and they're not going to give up. They're going to keep fighting until the end. So
I know they played a couple of D1 teams too. So the talent Union's going to put out there isn't going to intimidate them. Stevens brings it over the timeline. 16:37 remaining in the first half. Stevens deep right wing, out front to Buter. Buter thinks about the three pump fake. Takes about a 17-footer, no good. Front iron, rebounded by Meadows. Meadows puts it on the deck, has it taken away from him for the time being by, I believe that's White. White got on the floor for it, tried to save it back in, but Union's going to keep it. Tarek Smith checking in the ball game for the first time as Buter's going to going to go to the bench, as well as Archie Adams, probably going to check in for Deontay. Indeed, he is.
One thing I really like about Coach Burton is, he really rotates his players, and he knows how to use them and in what situations to use them. And he plays a lot of bench, so we'll see a lot of players coming in and out. But every player that comes in, takes care of their job and gets it done on the floor. So. And
I've said this about Coach Burton as White takes it down the lane, almost got away with the walk there, but it's going to be a block on, I believe that's Jeff Golden. It's going to be the second team foul for Hiwassee. Union hasn't yet to foul. As quickly off the bench comes Kasim Davidson, the 6'2 sophomore. But I said this about Coach Burton before. He coaches possessions. He doesn't coach games. So if it's a timeout like under the basket right there, he can check some personnel in. It's kind of like it's kind of like football, I guess you could say. Different defensive packages, different offensive packages. Depends on what personnel you got on the floor. I really like that.
Yeah, it's definitely different than what you see from some coaches that keep basically the same rotation, the same starting five.
Which I'm a fan of. I'm personally a fan of just having a certain set and you play them.
Right.
But Coach Burton does this to perfection,
and
so I can't complain about it.
For the Bulldogs, so I guess we'll let him keep doing what he's doing.
Absolutely. I can't complain about it as White's going to take a three in transition. Good. As White gives Union the 8-6 lead with 15:32 remaining. Assist to Tarek Smith on the basket.
Fitzgerald White you can tell he's ready to play. He's out here with energy. He's taking it to the hole. He's shooting. You can tell he's ready for this game, and he's definitely there mentally.
Yeah, I like White when he gets going inside early and then tries to move to the outside.
Right.
His game is not as good when he starts from the outside and then has to go in. Once he establishes himself inside off the paint like we've seen earlier, he's deadly.
I completely agree. Gets a little confidence, and then he's ready to shoot the long ball instead of just taking it inside.
Hiwassee and Union step for step here, 8-8, as Archie Adams gets it on the left baseline, kicks it way out to DeAndre Stevens. Stevens going to get a screen from Adams, crossover dribble, pull up three on the way, good. Such a smooth stroke for Stevens.
Maybe trying to get that missed layup back there. Definitely will maybe, put him back in good graces with Coach Burton.
Yeah, that three is more than that layup. So off to that's going to be Meadows, guarded by Smith. Goes baseline jumper, good. Hiwassee, very good jump shooting team, mid-range too. You don't see that a lot of teams.
They're not wasting any time trying to score either, John.
Nope.
They're getting it to their players and getting shots up. So I think this is going to be a good game from what we can tell. Fadeaway
jumper from Stevens, fading to his left after he drove right. Tough, difficult shot. He finishes anyways. Now Meadows dribbles down, looks on the baseline to a wide open Davison. Davison's going to take the jumper, no good. Rebounded by Stevens. Stevens loses the dribble just for a second. Now he's going to bring it over the timeline. Right across the logo, straight away. Pull up three from deep, no good. Rebounded by Adams. Adams puts it back out to Stevens. Stevens calls out the play. Hiwassee in that extended man-to-man as well, way out there. Stevens going to take another open three, wide open. Might as well take that one as that hits the strip going up to pull the goal back up, and that's going to be out of bounds. Turnover on Union.
I know we don't have a lot of stats on Hiwassee tonight, but one thing Union's got to realize now, being a top 25 team, every team's going to come to play.
Yep.
Every team's going to come ready to beat them as an opportunity to get in the top 25 to make their team look better and, get votes to be in the polls. So they have to be ready to play every game, no matter the stats, no matter the players.
Johnson gets a steal and a dunk on the press. Just how Coach Burton drew it up over there on the sideline. Is there's going to be another turnover? No, it's going to be a foul on Nate Walker. But as you're saying, it's going to be a very good test early. We can see that Hiwassee has the talent. They have the making of a typical AAC team, in my opinion.
Definitely. And I like to see that Union's pressing a little bit. We have quick guards. We have quick players.
We have
long arms, long limbs, lots of deflections, and we have a big rotation. So that's a perfect use to be able to press.
Absolutely. Good point. So that one's off to Boyd, who's just checked in for Hiwassee. Out front to Meadows. Meadows working on Smith. Back out front to Boyd. Boyd goes down the lane off to Davison, goes and lays in. It's going to be a charge as it looks like Tashawn Harrison that's Tremaine Elias stepped in to take that charge.
That was a nice charge by number 30, Tremaine. He was there, he was set, and he knew that they were going to be taking it, driving to the hole, and he waited. He was there perfect, so.
Taking charge is a lot more difficult now that they changed the rules. You have to be set before that player even has his head up to go look at the rim to go score. So, great job by Elias.
And also with the arch they put in this year, you have to really watch your placement. I know as a player sometimes you think you're there, but you'll be inside that arch, and they can't call it if you're inside that arch. So that was a nice job by Tremaine.
As Hairston misses, it's rebounded by Browner, and now he's going to go down the court. Brings over the timeline, guarded by Harrison. Thinks about the three, instead kicks it over to Meadows. Meadows gets it back out front to Bailey, and now Bailey calls out the play. Guarded by Smith out front. Off to number 3, that's Boyd. Boyd out to Meadows. A deep three for Meadows. No good, rims out. Nice rebound for Deontay Johnson, and out to Elias. Now kicks it to the guard, Nay Walker.
That's going to be a big key since they are trying to get a lot of shots up. We can only let them have one shot. If we're getting those rebounds, we can push it back the other way and, not giving them those second chance opportunities.
Meadows gives it up in the corner to Boyd. Boyd with the long three, no good. That was Browner. That's going to be out on Hiwassee. Union's going to keep it on the baseline.
Seeing Hiwassee press a little bit up here, so you can tell they're still trying to keep that up tempo. They're not trying to slow it down any by making them stop into a half-court set, so.
Now, Hiwassee is, you can tell, very content with playing a very high-scoring game here tonight. But the bad thing is when you press a team that presses, they are going to know how to break the press. So 15-10 is your score. Union on top, 11:56 remaining in the first half. Nay Walker looking inside of Johnson, had him, instead goes down the lane. He's going to turn it over as Meadows picks it up and dishes it off to Bailey. Bailey brings it over the timeline. Angles right, now kicks it way out front to Davison as he dribbles back to the top of the key. Crossover, nice crossover, Tarek Smith, and a nice dish in to Boyd, but he's blocked, but it's going to be a foul.
If we're going to stay in this man-to-man, we're going to have to minimize the getting into the lane. So that's one thing that they definitely need to work on is, not letting them break into the lane so easily because it just opens up other shots. It opens up dump downs to the post, and we're going to get in foul trouble that way.
Absolutely, and Coach Burton has talked about that on the post game and pregame as well. That when they go man to man, they are just not very good defensively. So it's something else they have to work on going down the stretch. He's talked a couple times when they're in a zone and they switch to a man, the other team automatically scores when they go man to man, and we've seen it a couple times here tonight. Hiwassee just can't finish the shot. As Boyd misses the front end of the 2 shots. He's going to get one more. And he makes that one. 15-11 is your score, 11:33 remaining. Don't have the big board lit up for you tonight, so we can't tell you how many points that any of these players has at the moment. As Johnson gets a wild pass from Buter. One-hand pass back into Newby, but it was out of bounds. Union going to keep it on the baseline.
This is where we need to be smart breaking the press. Those long passes can sometimes be open, but we also need to look at where their defense is. Hawassee's obviously a very quick team, and they're pressing for a reason, so we need to be careful with our passes and make sure we're taking care of the ball.
Don't have to make the hero play. Just make the smart play.
Right, exactly.
Stevens gets a screen from Johnson, loses his dribble temporarily way back out front, right on the U of that UC logo. Stevens gets the screen now from Johnson. It's going to be a legal screen going the other way. See Johnson get called for that quite a bit as he tries to go a little too quick after he screens. Any motion around that screen is going to be an easy call for the official.
Well, one thing's for sure is we definitely don't need Johnson in foul trouble tonight. They do have some big players down low, and we need him to be in there to match up with them.
That's out front is Browner. Over to the corner for Boyd. Now back out on the deep right wing to Bailey. Bailey's going to put it on the deck way over to Browner. Has good defense for Union on the perimeter thus far. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Over to the corner for Boyd. Boyd launches a three. No good. Back iron tipped around. Newby's there, but sneaking in is number 20, Fernandez. Now way back out front, as you talked about, second chance points.
It's going to be a big factor. They're going to shoot them. They're going to be there. We got to get a body on somebody and get the rebound and push it back the other way.
Great hands there for Stevens. Is now Buter angling down the middle on the steal, goes up, no good, but he's going to go to the line for 2. Great take by Buter.
I tell you one thing, I love watching Michael Buter play. He has no fear. It doesn't matter, even if he is, the smallest guard out there. He'll take it in there against anybody. And, a lot of times he gets the foul call just because he goes in there strong and, doesn't fade away and doesn't try to, fall out. He just takes it in there strong, and that's one thing that I love to watch.
You have to come up here more often. You took the words right out of my mouth. Fearless is the one word I would use for Buter. Is he loves, a couple times I've seen him take it on the dribble, and I'm like, no way he's going to put up a floater. And he puts up a floater against, some of the biggest guys in the league. So absolutely a great piece to this offense is Michael Buter. Played out of position most of the year, too. Not supposed to play point guard, but had to due to eligibility issues for DeAndre Stevens and Maurice Turner. So
yeah. And he did a good job. I mean, he came in, he took care of the ball, and he didn't do too much. He did his job, and that's what you need from somebody that is playing out of position. Just go in, do the job that's needed to be done.
And I said his shot will come along as Union brings on the pressure. It's a nice crossover dribble there for Boyd. He fires it up ahead to Bailey. Bailey tries to lay it in. Shot partially blocked, and now rebounded by Newby. And now Nate Walker, who's running point guard duties, brings it over the timeline. On the deep right wing, gets a screen from Elias. And that's going to be a hold in the paint off ball from Bailey, who was holding White. I'm not sure what he was holding him from, but he had a big handful of jersey, and the referee called it.
A little bit of a mismatch there with 24 guarding White. White's a little bit bigger than most guards that guard him, so that's also a plus. Once he does get down there, they have to try to fight around in order to keep him from getting the ball.
Johnson gets the backdoor lob, puts it up and in for the layup as Union leads us 19-11 with 9:52 play.
I'd like to see Union keep up this pace right here. Don't let them back in the game. Keep up the defensive pressure and don't let them have any easy shots. Get the rebound and keep this pace going. Keep a good lead.
As wide open at the top of the key is Mack. Mack misses the three. Nice two-handed rebound by Johnson. He fires it ahead to White. Now Union on the run. Two-hand chest pass over on the other wing to Hairston. Hairston long three, no good. Rebounded by Johnson. Johnson fires it ahead to Boyd. Back out front, and now swings it over to the opposite wing for Browner. On the deep left wing goes number 11 Johnson as he buries the three.
DeAndre Stevens may have a little match for him tonight. They're both out there shooting the long ball, and neither one of them are afraid to shoot it. So we'll see how that plays out.
Walker almost turns it over wide open as Johnson under the basket. He puts it up and in for two.
That's exactly what we need to do to break this press, John. We need to, make smart passes, and usually there's somebody left wide open right by the goal.
Yeah, because the way the press is set up, you're trapping. So, as my high school coach would say, it's simple math. There's somebody wide open somewhere. Exactly. That's hard to find them when you're out there on the court, but there is somebody open, and that time they found Johnson wide open.
I think anybody that's played basketball has heard that before. There's somebody open.
Johnson tries on the other side of Hiwassee, tries the highlight pass, goes behind his back. But Walker's going the other way. Walker out of control. You're going to get a charge on that one every time. As Walker with a nice move, but just out of control, and you can't award him with a block when he's out of control like that.
Right, and that's another thing about, being smart, knowing what gaps are open to take, not just taking it, and there's going to be somebody there waiting. So we have to be smart about, which gaps we're hitting and when we're taking it to the lane.
So 8:24 remaining here in the contest in the first half. 21-14 is your score. Union on top of a very talented Hiwassee team from what we've seen thus far. Johnson gets it, almost throws it away to Turner, who's just subbed in, but up ahead to Golden, who dishes it back off to Tyler Johnson. Johnson back up top. He's looking for the screen from Golden. Let's see if he takes it. No, crosses over. Now he kicks to Golden. Golden down the paint. No good. He's looking for the dunk. Newby went up there and tried to block it, and Newby committed the foul. Probably saved 2 points right there. Golden had dunk on his mind as soon as he crossed over that free throw line. Golden, 6'7" junior. Definitely has the bounce to put Newby on a poster there if he wanted to, but great defense by Newby. 5 team fouls for both of these teams after that one.
It's something we're going to have to be careful about. Like I said before, leaving that lane wide open. He had nobody there to pick him up, so Newby had to step over, and, we don't want to get our bigs in foul trouble that way.
Newby takes a seat. Golden misses the first of two. To the line for the second one. It's up. Good. So 21-16 now your score. 8:04 remaining. Into Turner. Now Smith. Back over to Turner. He crosses over the timeline, fires it over to Elias. Elias has Adams over there in the corner, but instead goes back out front to Turner. Coach Burton calls out the play as Turner works on number 11, Johnson. Over to Smith. Smith on that stagger screen three. Dangerous on that one, but it rims out. Archie Adams with the rebound. Back out front to Elias. Now Turner's going to reset. Crossover down the left lane. Fires it over to Adams in the center. No good. Rebounded by Golden.
That play they just ran, that's a consistent play we've seen them run for Tarek Smith all year long. And, I mean, he's been great the majority of the time at making that shot. So, you know, Burton tends to go to that a lot and knows that it's a go-to play definitely for the Bulldogs.
As Funchess misses a shot on the other end, Tarek Smith goes coast to coast, lays them for two. 23-16, 17 to play.
It's a nice take by Tarek Smith, you know, grabbing the rebound and pushing it back the other way and going up strong.
Saw the lane, and you talked about hitting gaps earlier. Saw that he had the space.
There was nobody there to pick him up, and
Golden
took advantage of that.
A little late. He tried to take the charge a little late. As Golden gets stuffed on the rim. Now goes up for two. No good. Tipped around. Now he finally puts it in. Just guess the big man just padding his rebound stats a little bit as he brings Hiwassee within a couple as 23-18 is your score.
You know, I have a feeling this is just going to be a great game to watch. Hiwassee obviously has no fear either going to the rim. We've seen multiple attempts at dunks early already, and dunks with defenders there. So, you know, it definitely will be, hopefully, you know, continue to be a good game playing out tonight.
Hairston drains the three, extending that Hiwassee defense out a little bit as it looks like Coach Hugh Watson is going to take a timeout for Hiwassee, kind of sees the tide turning just a little. It's 26-18 is your score, 6:20 to play. It's going to be a full timeout, so we're going to take one with you. We're back in just a moment. You're listening to the Bulldog Sports Network.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I'm a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Bulldog Sports Network, 26-18 is your score. Union on top of Hiwassee College Tigers out of North Carolina, I do believe is where this team is from. Like I said, not a lot is known about Hiwassee. So you know just about as much as I do about them, Maura.
Kind of learning as we go.
Yeah. We do see that they are a very competitive team, very athletic team. As I said, they match a lot of what you'll see in the AAC. So, you know, good schedule on Coach Burton's part is right before Harrison might have got away with a foul there on Meadows. But seeing a lot of the same kind of plays, a lot of the same athletes that you would see on the AAC level as there's Funchess banks in a 15-footer.
And like you said earlier, I mean, they're basically matching up with Union, you know, player for player.
Yep.
So, you know, that's good for us to get some experience playing against, you know, a team like ourselves. And, you know, the more experience we get going into the second half of conference, the better.
Yeah, it gets a lot tougher for Union as they have to go on the road. And all the teams that they've beaten at home. Already went on the road and got Montreat, so it will be very interesting to see. I've got Tennessee Wesleyan, I believe, this Saturday. So is Tarek Smith's going to pick up the block? No, he's going to pick up the block, or the charge, excuse me. 26-20 now. Hiwassee sticking around.
That looks more of maybe like a collision than it was an actual foul. But, you know, those things happen, and technically he was set. So.
Yep, it's one of those bang-bang plays.
Yeah.
26-20 is your score. As Johnson brings over the timeline. Over to 20, that's Mack. Now over to Meadows. Meadows one-hand dish inside to Mack. Now back out front to Meadows. Meadows long three from the left wing, nothing but air. And it's rebounded by Smith. And Golden going to pick up the cheap foul on Tarek Smith. Union should walk the length of the court now. That should put them in the bonus, or maybe one more. My clock operator's down there on point is just 6 fouls. So next time, Union will shoot free throws. As Elias and looks like Hairston comes out, Buter comes in, as well as Newby maybe. As Buter's got it, fires one up front to Newby. Now back out front to Stevens. Stevens, dangerous pass over to Smith. Smith, pull up jumper, no good, rims in and out, and then goes back in. Teach me to call it before I see it, right? Union takes the 8-point lead, 28-20, 4 minutes and 59 seconds.
We see here Union's back in the zone, and that possibly could be because they were getting so many drives to the lane, and, they play well in the zone, so maybe, Coach Burton's, reverted back to that, considering we weren't doing a very good job defending off the dribble and one-on-one.
That's going to be an easy one for the official to call as Johnson. Just a forearm or a shoulder or elbow or something right in Tarek Smith's chest. Tarek Smith stumbled back a little bit. That's going to be an easy one every time.
Stood strong. He was set, and, he got that charge that he just, received back on this end.
Smith's going to jog out. Deontay Johnson comes in along with Fitzgerald White. It's one of my favorite lineups, by the way, that Union has in at the moment. A very good defensive lineup, and you also have that offensive firepower. Johnson lobs it up to Newby. Dunk on the weak side. What a look for DeAndre Stevens to guard Newby on the baseline.
You could tell Newby was just waiting for it. He saw that lane open, and luckily Stevens saw it too and threw him a perfect pass.
One of the many highlight plays that Union has had this year. And I've talked about Newby before. Once he figures it out and how athletic he is, he's going to get a few of those over his years at Union. As I'll tell the story that I told the other day as Hiwassee comes down on offense. I was watching these guys play knockout at practice after we had played some pickup, and Newby followed one of his misses from the three-point line with a dunk. And Burton just looked at me and said he hasn't even figured it out yet. So once he figures it out, it's going to be bad news for the rest of the AAC.
It definitely is. You can tell that Newby makes a lot of plays off pure effort. He's a workhorse. He gets in there. He rebounds. He's long. He's extremely athletic. And once he gets, the fundamentals down with it, he's going to be a threat.
So after the dunk, 30-20 is your score. 3:54 remaining in the first half.
Bulldogs have that, that double-digit lead, that 10-point lead. We need to just keep pushing right here and go ahead and just extend it out,
Like to see this extended out to about, if you can extend it out to about 12-14 and then come out with that second half spurt. Put them away, like you said. We want to see that full 40 minutes of effort. As Walker, Elias, and Turner comes in, Buter, Stevens, and Johnson comes out.
You can tell Coach Burton's, rotating in some quick guards for the press intentionally. So looking to get some turnovers and some easy points off turnovers.
Trying to get one here is Boyd, not the ball handler, has to bring it over the floor, guarded by Elias. See if Elias goes out and pressures him a little bit as Boyd angles left, down the left lane, goes up in traffic, no good, rebounded by White. White looking to outlet it. He's double-teamed, throws it off the foot of Boyd. And now Walker holds it up, now brings it over the timeline. Walker down the lane, goes up, finger roll, no good, partially blocked. As he gets it, he steps on the baseline. It's going to be Hiwassee ball.
Lucky for us, Hiwassee, some of their shots in the lane aren't falling because they're getting there when we are in that man-to-man pressure. They're able to drive. So we're just going to have to keep being smart and trying our best to defend one-on-one. That's going to be a big key.
As Turner gets the turnover on the press, goes up, lays it in. As you said, Mark, quick guards get the turnover and extend this lead up to 14 points. Union bringing on that press again. That's Davidson bringing it up. He's quickly double-teamed. Hands it off to Browner. Browner looking ahead. Finally gets it over to Meadows as Meadows tries to drain the three. No good. Up ahead to White.
Nice block by Fitzgerald White right there. Get our momentum right back. Don't give them any confidence. Don't let them hang around.
Turner takes a long three. Back iron, no good. Rebounded by Boyd. Boyd looked up ahead but doesn't have anybody to throw it to. He's calling for somebody to come out and get the ball. Boyd not really the ball handler, as I said. Now he's going to try to hand it off to Meadows, and it's tipped around. Who's going to come up with it? And it's going to be Walker. Walker up ahead to Newby. Newby gathers, goes up, lays it in.
That was one of those hustle plays by Walker. He was on the floor, dove for the ball, got on the floor to get it, and threw it out long as we had a Union Bulldog luckily running down the floor. The hustle plays like that we're going to be able to create turnovers off of our defense and off of our presses.
Coach Watson sees where this tide is turning as Union has turned a 10-point lead into a 16-point lead, trying to open this one up with 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the first half. So, Mara, from my point of view, 16-point lead over a Hiwassee team here in the first half, pretty darn good considering how good I think this Hiwassee team is. And that's not blowing this Hiwassee team up. I just think they're athletic enough to where they could compete in the AAC, and that's what Union's looking for, is teams that mirror AAC teams this late in the season.
I think you're absolutely right. Coach Burton, told the team the other day, he said they have just as much athletic ability, just as much ability as anybody in the ACC. So, that's definitely something that, we're keeping a lead, which is a big deal for us, considering, like we said, they haven't been coming out and just stepping on people from the get-go, from the first half, and that is what they're going to need to do in the rest of the conference. So it's nice to see them do that here tonight.
This team has been impressive all year and just keeps surprising me. So after the timeout, 36-20, Union on top, 2:09 remaining. As Union comes out, presses automatically. As Browner gets it, goes down the lane, dishes it off to Davison. Davison goes up off the glass, no good. It's going to be a foul. I believe it's going to be on Elias. Indeed, it's going to be on Elias, as it's the 17th foul for the Bulldogs, 8 for Hiwassee. To the line goes Davison.
As quick and as fast-paced as these two teams are, as much as they're driving to the lane, honestly, the foul count isn't, as high as you would honestly think it is. So, or you would think it would be. So, that's a plus. Maybe not necessarily for us on the offensive end, but for the defensive end, we're not getting people in foul trouble early, which is something that, I have seen the boys do, have a couple players or get 2 or 3 in the first half, and that, puts them down and pretty much leaves them out until the second half, and then they're coming in the second half trying not to foul, trying to be smart, and they're having to lower their intensity because of that. So it's nice to see them not be in foul trouble, to be able to play hard, to be able to play with that intensity and that effort on the press, on the defense, whatever defense they're in at the time.
So Coach Burton has to call a timeout as Michael Buter kind of got stuck down here on the baseline, just making sure everything is in order on the press, as Union does lead at 36-22, 1:58 remaining, as it's just a quick 30 seconds there, Coach Burton, so we're going to stay right here with you.
Coach Burton can be he's very animated at times, and the last time out that was called by Hiwassee, he was clapping, so he's pleased with the Bulldogs' effort, and he's pleased with how they're doing so far. So
you can tell too by the way Coach Burton fairly happy with the way this contest has gone thus far, because I haven't heard him yell yet. So
it's always a good sign.
Got to turn that music up as Tarek Smith gets his ball knocked away from behind. Cheap foul there on Davidson. He tried to poke it loose from behind on Tarek, and they say he got too much arm, so Tarek's going to go to the line for 1 and a bonus.
Seems almost as much trouble as we're having guarding, defending one-on-one to the lane. They're struggling with that just as much. We're getting to the lane almost every possession, so we just need to keep taking it, keep getting in, keep taking it to the lane, and if we get the foul, we get the foul. If not, score the bucket, score the easy bucket while you're there.
Smith, one of the better free throw shooters on this Bulldog squad, goes to the line for his second of the bonus. He made the first one. Next one up on the way. Good. As Sean Brown's going to come in for Michael Buter. And as, I've talked about earlier in the season as well, you just see how deep that bench can go, and Burton will use everybody on that bench. Tyler Wagner, I look for him to get back in rotation once his arm heals up. And, Dalton Whitney, he ran point for us earlier in the year, kind of been shuffled down the line since a couple guys got eligible. But as I told Mason the last time out, when players on teams buy into their roles, that's when you see the team grow and become successful, and that's exactly what this team has done.
And I think it's definitely great that, he can play anybody on that bench over there and know that they're going to be fine in the game. It's not going to be a worry. Some players may be more of an offensive threat, some may be better at defense, but he can honestly play any player on that bench, and they'll still get the job done.
I mean, you look out on the floor right now, how many of these players have had 20-point games? Just about everyone out there on the floor has had a 20-point game or close. So a lot of offense being spread around on this team as well. As down the lane in traffic goes at number 10. That's Lane, as he's going to get a foul. I believe that's going to be on Deontay Johnson.
we have to be careful there, John, about gambling for passes in that zone, because once you gamble and you're out of position,
chasing from then on
you're
out.
out of position, that lane is wide open. I know we struggle with that a lot too. We kind of play the same 3-2 that the boys are playing right now, and he always tells us don't gamble for the pass, because once you gamble, there's really no getting back in position. Somebody else has got to step up, and it throws the whole entire rotation of the defense off.
You can only help so much. You help,
exactly.
you help, and it's going to leave somebody wide open. Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to run out of people, and that's kind of what happened there. The lane was wide open. Somebody had to rotate up, and that's how they're getting their fouls.
As number 10, the lane, goes back to the line. Next one on the way, no good. So Newby tips it around and gets the rebound. 38-23 is your score, approaching under a minute to play in the first half as Stevens brings it over the timeline. See what set play Union runs here, off to Newby. Sean Brown, top of the key, goes through. Now back out front to Stevens. Stevens thinks about the three, step back, throws it in to Johnson. Nice pass in, it's good. What an assist by DeAndre Stevens.
It almost didn't even look like it was going to get there. It was so smooth, just that little floater. It was honestly the perfect pass straight to Johnson for him to be able to grab it up over the defender's head and just lay it right in.
Beautiful, the chemistry that those two have. As there's in the corner for Bailey. Now back out front to number 5. That's Browner. As Stevens going to pick it off, try to go the other way, and that's Walker. Now to Brown. From Stevens, thought he was going to go over to Brown, but he goes and lays it up himself. Union extending this lead, pushing a 19-point lead. I was just hoping for a 14-point lead, and they went on ahead of that. 11 seconds to go. That's Browner. Over to Bailey. Back out front to Browner. Let's see if he takes it off the dribble. Indeed he is. Step back. And he's going to push off. He's going to get called for the charge. 2.6 seconds. Union's going to take over.
They definitely did exactly what we talked about. I guess kind of a, we'll show you kind of thing to us. But that's exactly what they needed to do. They needed to keep that lead going and just really stretch it out here. They're going to come back in the second half, having the momentum, having the lead. And they've already put, a huge deficit on Hiwassee. Not to say that it can't easily be erased.
Absolutely.
It can't easily be erased, but it definitely gives us a huge advantage coming out in the second half.
And a good situation scenario for Union to practice right here with 2 seconds left. So let's see what they do. Nice pass into Harrison, top of the key, 3 on the way, good. Union hits it at the buzzer. They go up 45-23. A beautiful play from Coach Burton. Works out as Union going to take the 22-point lead going into half. Wow.
And I'll say, honestly, the other day we were waiting to practice, and they were practicing that exact play, and it paid off. He said, I think it was probably meant for end of the game situation or end of halftime situation, and it definitely paid off. They ran it to perfection and got the shot down. 2.6 seconds. And
that was fantastic. I just thought they would, try to. They'd be happy if they got the ball down the
from
floor.
Half court, yeah, but that was perfect.
A fantastic play there. I saw Fitzgerald White coming in. I wasn't sure what Coach Burton was going to run there, but worked to perfection. Got to be happy with that. So 45-23 is your score at the half. 14-47 here before we get started the second half. We're going to take an extended break. I'm going to send Mara to go get stats. When we come back, we'll have halftime stats. You're listening to the Bulldog Sports Network.
Whether it's new or used parts you need, car parts, truck parts, SUV parts, foreign and domestic parts, any part from A to Z, Davis Salvage and Auto Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin has it or can find it. Davis Salvage specializes in late model auto and truck parts. For over 40 years, the Davis family has supplied customers all over the United States with new and used auto and truck parts. Davis Salvage, open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. or online at davissalvage.com. Take a look at their inventory. Davis Salvage and Truck Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin, the only place to go for all your vehicle needs. Whether it's new or used parts you need, car parts, truck parts, SUV parts, foreign and domestic parts, any part from A to Z, Davis Salvage and Auto Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin has it or can find it. Davis Salvage specializes in late model auto and truck parts. For over 40 years, the Davis family has supplied customers all over the United States with new and used auto and truck parts. Davis Salvage, open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. or online at davissalvage.com. Take a look at their inventory. Davis Salvage and Truck Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin, the only place to go for all your vehicle needs.
Pool parties are making a huge splash at the new Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center in Barberville, home of the area's only indoor Olympic-sized swimming pool. Guests will enjoy 2 hours of fun in both the pool and party room. Parties are now being scheduled for any day of the week. Book yours today. Call 546-0005 or visit us on the web at stiverscenter.org. Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center. It's good for you.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I'm a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Whether it's new or used parts you need, car parts, truck parts, SUV parts, foreign and domestic parts, any part from A to Z, Davis Salvage and Auto Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin has it or can find it. Davis Salvage specializes in late model auto and truck parts. For over 40 years, the Davis family has supplied customers all over the United States with new and used auto and truck parts. Davis Salvage open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. or online at davissalvage.com. Take a look at their inventory. Davis Salvage and Truck Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin, the only place to go for all your vehicle needs.
Pool parties are making a huge splash at the new Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center in Barberville, home of the area's only indoor Olympic-sized swimming pool. Guests will enjoy 2 hours of fun in both the pool and party room. Parties are now being scheduled for any day of the week. Book yours today. Call 546-0005 or visit us on the web at stiverscenter.org. Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center. It's good for you. Pool parties are making a huge splash at the new Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center in Barberville, home of the area's only indoor Olympic-sized swimming pool. Guests will enjoy 2 hours of fun in both the pool and party room. Parties are now being scheduled for any day of the week. Book yours today. Call 546-0005 or visit us on the web at stiverscenter.org. Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center. It's good for you.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I'm a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bulldog Sports Network. I almost said welcome back to the return of the Mac, as that's what's playing. But 45-23, Union on top of Hiwassee College, as a very good first half there for Union, Mara.
Yeah, they definitely they did exactly what we talked about before the game. Came out, they kept their intensity, they kept the momentum. Honestly, they're trying to take Hiwassee's confidence, obviously, out of the game and keep this lead rolling. And, that's what we talked about, stepping on them early, not just playing a full 40 minutes, not just, a half.
So, with that, 45-23 is your halftime score. We're going to go over first half stats. First for Hiwassee. They're led in points by Thomas Funchess. He has 6 points. Give him 2 rebounds along with that. And then after that, scoring's pretty balanced. We'll just go right down the line. The next leading scorer, Jeff Golden, he has 4 points and 6 rebounds. Give him 1 block as well. 2 points for Justin Browner, 3 points for David Lane, 2 points for Howie Meadows, 1 point for Lazarick Boyd, 3 points for Tyler Johnson, and rounding out the scoring column, Kasim Davison has 2 points. He also has added 2 fouls to that, so he leads a host of Hiwassee players with 2 fouls. As Hiwassee shot 25% from the field. I didn't realize they were shooting that badly until we get the stats. 8 for 32 from the field. 1 for 9 from 3, that's 11%. 6 for 8 from the charity stripe, 75%. Now on to individual scores for Union. They're led and scored. The only player in double figures for either team is Deontay Johnson. We talked about it. That's their game plan early on, is go inside of Johnson. They did.
It should be.
Yeah, he's got 11 points on 4 for 6 shooting. 4 rebounds for him, 1 steal as well. After him with 7 points, going to be Fitzgerald White. He also has 2 rebounds and 2 assists, no turnovers. After him, another player with 7 points, DeAndre Stevens, 1 for 4 from three-point range, 3 for 7 from the field, 1 assist and 1 steal, along with 1 turnover. Give 6 points to Tarek Smith off the bench. Also has 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 turn. And now, also with 6 points, to Sean Harrison. Didn't see him. He hit the 3 there at the end of the buzzer of the first half. He's 2 for 3 from three-point range. After that, with 2 points, it's Maurice Turner. 2 points for Michael Buter, and 4 points for Gerard Newby, who also has 6 rebounds. So definitely getting it done everywhere. Also has a block. Union quick out of the locker room there. Also a good sign for Coach Burton. As the Union shot 48% from the field, 17 for 35 from three-point range. They shot 33% from the charity stripe, shot 87% as they went 7 for 8, only missing 1. Rebounding-wise, Union is going to hold that edge 24-19. They have 10 total assists to 5 turnovers. Meanwhile, Hiwassee has 5 assists to 8 turnovers. Fast break points, Union owns that one 13-4 as Hiwassee look to get up and down, but they're losing that battle at the moment. Points off turnovers, 5 points for Union, 0 for Hiwassee. Points in the paint, Union leading that one 12-6. No second chance points for either of these teams. And 14 points off the bench for Union and 6 for Hiwassee. That leaves your final score at the first half, 45-23. So, Mara, Union really dominating every category that you can really name here tonight.
Yeah, they definitely did. One thing they're going to have to think about, though, and really focus on when they come out, is that just because the team shoots poorly in the first half doesn't mean they'll shoot poorly in the second half. And they did get a lot of open looks, right near the basket. And no, they weren't falling in the first half, but those are the kind of shots that can turn a game around. So Union has to come out with just as much intensity, just as much pressure. Even though they do have, a large margin right now, they have to come out and play just the same way they did the first half, take it as a score 0-0 in order to keep that lead, keep that, momentum, and not allow Hiwassee to get back in this game.
Well, me and Mason Elam, who was doing camera for me tonight, usually my color guy, we had a conspiracy that's just the bad side of the floor. Everybody who shoots on that side seems to have a bad time shooting in the first half, but we're going to put that theory to the test as Union shooting 48% from the field. They're going to take over on that end here shortly. We're about 5 minutes away from second half action. The score is 45-23. We'll be right back at you in about 4 minutes. You're listening to John and Mara on the Bulldog Sports Network.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I'm a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Whether it's new or used parts you need, car parts, truck parts, SUV parts, foreign and domestic parts, any part from A to Z, Davis Salvage and Auto Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin has it or can find it. Davis Salvage specializes in late model auto and truck parts. For over 40 years, the Davis family has supplied customers all over the United States with new and used auto and truck parts. Davis Salvage open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. or online at davissalvage.com. Take a look at their inventory. Davis Salvage and Truck Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin, the only place to go for all your vehicle needs.
Pool parties are making a huge splash at the new Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center in Barberville, home of the area's only indoor Olympic-sized swimming pool. Guests will enjoy.
The Union College Athletic Department would like to thank all of our
assistant coach, Tanner Massey. Coach, we started...
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I'm a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Whether it's new or used parts you need, car parts, truck parts, SUV parts, foreign and domestic parts, any part from A to Z, Davis Salvage and Auto Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin has it or can find it. Davis Salvage specializes in late model auto and truck parts. For over 40 years, the Davis family has supplied customers all over the United States with new and used auto and truck parts. Davis Salvage, open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. or online at davissalvage.com. Take a look at their inventory. Davis Salvage and Truck Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin, the only place to go for all your vehicle needs.
2 hours of fun in both the pool and party room. Parties are now being scheduled for any day of the week. Book yours today. Call 546-0005 or visit us on the web at stiverscenter.org. Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center. It's good for you.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I'm a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Bulldog Sports Network, 45-23 is your score at half, as Hiwassee is going to take over here after the halftime break. See if be very interesting. Different look from Coach Burton there out of the timeout. He usually does this, and he'll send some guys off the bench immediately. So let's see if they can get the turnover as he wants. As Meadows gets in the middle to Golden. Golden looks opposite side to Funches. Funches almost throws it way back to Meadows. Now to the far side for Lane. Lane out front to Funches. Funches going to take just a step inside the three-point line. Just hits the backboard. An ugly-looking jumper there from Funches.
That's what we want to do. We want to force them to take those shots. We don't want to let them, get into the lane and get the easy bunnies. We want to make them take those contested jumpers, and as long as we're doing that, then we should be fine.
Oh, personally, I think I'd let Funches shoot all day from there. He was straight away and just hit the right side of the backboard. Ugly-looking jumper. Unless Union's going to take over, and immediately Coach Burton does go to his bench. Out front to Stevens. Stevens drives the lane. Down the middle, shoots a rocket over on the left side of Newby, puts it up and in. And I cursed the one-handed pass on this level, Mar, but that time it worked out. You can rarely get a one-handed pass. It worked in high school. It just rarely works on this level. Peter drives the left lane, goes up, finger roll, good.
Fearless Michael Peter. There he is.
And we talked about Union coming out with authority here in the second half, doing it again, up 49-23.
It's good to see them come out with this intensity and this momentum, not just coming out, relaxed because they have a lead. They're coming out with the same intensity they started the game with, and that's what they need to do every game.
Lane takes a long three on Stevens, nails it. Stevens brings it over the timeline. Crossover dribble, one-hand pass into Johnson. Johnson in the middle of the lane gets blocked, but goes back up with it. Fadeaway jumper in the lane, good. Just another day at the office for Deontay Johnson. 51-26 is your score.
It's nice to see him being, pretty consistent this year. They're pounding the ball in there, and he's able to pretty much perform every game inside the paint, and that's nice for us to have that presence in there.
And it's good to establish the inside early. That way it just opens up for you on the outside. This is a pretty good shooting team. It's up ahead to White. White's all by himself, goes up, dunk. Sure, White missed that a couple of games ago. His teammates gave him heck for it as he came to the bench, but that time flushed it. They set a school record for dunks in this one. They've already got 3 or 4, no kidding. 53-26.
Talking about our bench, I mean, when you look over there, you know, we have so many people that can dunk and, you know, that have in games. And so just another thing to add to the energy and the excitement of the game. You know, the fans are loving it this year that, you know, we have such a athletic and fun team to watch.
Very tame crowd at the moment because Union's up 53-26. But a lot to cheer about thus far, a lot to get on their feet about is a couple of lobs earlier. And then that dunk. So Fitzgerald White gets it on the far left wing. Looks for a cutting newbie. Instead goes out front to, no, he's going to go inside to Johnson as it's going to be a hold on Golden.
We find a lot of teams having to do that to Johnson just to keep him from catching the ball or keep him from scoring. You know, they have to hold him. There's not much else they can do. So they keep pounding in there. He keeps posting strong, and that's going to be a big advantage for us.
They tried to front him there, but the way the offense worked around, they just threw it over. It cleared out everybody on the right side. It just went over his shoulder and tried to put it in. It would have been a dunk, but he got held, so Union's going to keep it. They look inside to Johnson and lobs it. Fitzgerald White lobs it to the other team as Davidson is going to give it out to Boyd. Now back out front to Davidson. He swings it over.
Like you were just talking about with Johnson, when he's in the paint like that and he's, you know, posting strong, he's going to have that seal. When they're fronting, you know, when they're fronting the post, as soon as they reverse the ball around, he's going to have that seal, and it's going to be there all day. So that's another advantage for us.
Union does it very well. 53-26, 17-17 remaining in the game. To the line goes Boyd. First one up, no good. Excuse me, that's Lane. Lane misses the first one. Back to the line for the second one. Up. Good. 53-27 now with 17-16 left.
The black and gold's not, they're not letting off their press. They're still looking, you know, for that intensity on hopefully getting turnovers and, you know, getting back into this game. So I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing the press for a little bit longer.
Yeah, Johnson looked for the jumper there. Didn't get it. Now out front. The other way goes Browner. Browner looks inside to Davison. Davison spins, blocked by Johnson as Johnson stepped on the end line. Almost committed the cardinal sin as well and threw it back under the basket. Never want to do that. Just throw it to the other end. Probably my biggest pet peeve in basketball, Mara.
Yeah, it's definitely not something you want to do. I know at times you don't think about it.
It seems like the easy thing to do.
Yeah, you don't think about it. You think you're just going to, you know, tip it to one of your teammates real quick.
It's not that easy.
No, it always, you know, the majority of the time it ends up giving the other team points.
Yep.
So you're better off to just throw it and have a player run long to get it or even throw it, you know, farther out of bounds on the other end.
Yeah, just fling it to the other end, or as my high school coach would say, just throw it in the stands.
With as quick as our Bulldog team is, no doubt in my mind that we could have a player run down the floor
Absolutely.
and grab it and put it up.
Just don't
if
think.
throw it long.
In that situation, it's very tough to think about doing that, though. I understand that, but like I said, the easy thing to do would be to just throw it back in under the basket. But
see the closest person, you know, you're falling out of bounds, and that's your first thought.
So Davidson's going to inbound it.
Union's back in man here, so we'll see how that plays out. And immediately there's a cut right off into the middle of the lane, exactly like what we were talking about first half. Luckily they missed the shot, you know, missed the little bunny, but
didn't miss that bunny as that one's up and in for Lane. As very interesting, keep an eye on that, Mara, as that man-to-man defense. See how long Coach Burton stays in. It's going to be a talking point in our post-game interview with Burton. As Newby goes up in the press, breaks it easily, up and in for two. 55-29 is your score, 16-17 remaining.
Now that could cause trouble for the Bulldogs later on down the road if their zones aren't working or a team is, you know, prepared so well for that zone. And we do have to play man. If they're going to let them, you know, get in the lane that easy, that's not going to be good for us.
As the ball is ping-pong around down there, finally. Hiwassee comes up with it. Lane goes up for the shot. No good. Rebounded by Buter. Buter looks up ahead, fires it to Archie Adams, the unlikely point guard in this scenario. As he goes down the lane, finger roll up and good. Most dribbling Archie Adams had to do probably since high school.
At times it's awkward to see when a post does that, but you're also, you know, kind of pumped for them as well. If they can do it, you know, more power to them kind of thing.
Archie puts it on the deck, goes and lays it in. 57-29 your score as once again, Coach Watson, he wants a timeout to talk it over with his team. So I believe, I don't know if this is a 30 or a full mark. I didn't see from the official. But nonetheless, since we're guessing, we're going to stay right here with you. 57-29 is your score, 15-46 remaining in this contest. It's been a good one thus far for the Bulldogs as they're going to look to tune things up before Milligan comes to town. Now, both the men and the women team got Milligan early, but you know that Milligan team just as well as I do, and you know they're clicking on all cylinders this time around.
They definitely are. Milligan only lost to Tennessee Wesleyan for the girls by 1 on Saturday. So, you know, they're definitely playing well. They're playing with the top teams in the league, and like Coach Curry was telling us today, they're at a desperate point. You know, they don't want to drop another game because it almost puts them out of the race, but they win a game and they're pretty much back in the race. So it's that right fine line, you know, they're right there of either going off or they're, you know, right there stepping back in. So it's going to be a big game for both the men and the women.
We'll say this, the women's team is 1-0 in the John North era at Milligan. How about that?
That is definitely actually a big deal considering we had not won there
exactly
in I think 8 years. So maybe you're the luck.
I took over and
you brought us the luck back at the Milligan gym.
It's
a tough place to play, so we need that luck there.
Even though they did put me in the weight room to call the game, as easily Hiwassee breaks that press, puts it up and in 4-2 to draw closer, 57-31, trying to stay in this one. But you can't trade buckets. You eventually got to start getting stops. You want to get that to about a 10-point lead with about 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, they're definitely if they're not going to get stops on the defensive end, scoring buckets on the other end is not going to help them. And just like what we talked about, Archie Adams, just, you know, easy jump shot. So they're going to have to do something defensively in order to stop the Bulldogs if they want to get back in this game.
And I've heard it's Coach J.D. Strange, who also helps with the men's team as he graduated. But they say when they run that play for Archie, he is 100% from the field on that play. Always knocks down that shot, and there's the case as well as Hiwassee tries to match it. That was Meadows on the shot, no good. Buter going to rush it the other way. Know it passed into Newby. Newby too far into the goal. Reverse layup, no good. Tipped around, and it's going to be off on Hiwassee. Union going to keep it.
Newby almost didn't even see that pass there, John, but luckily he's athletic enough and has long enough arms to, you know, last second grab up and catch it. So
got those go-go gadget arms, as I like to call them, as Adams, Newby, and White sub out. Tarek Smith subs in, Hairston, and Johnson. Look for Tarek down the middle. Instead, they're just going to go out to Hairston. Walker was the other one that subbed in. Out front to Walker. As Coach Burton calls out the play.
You know, we haven't seen Walker a lot this year, but, you know, the past few games he's getting a little, you know, more and more minutes, and that's good to see him getting some freshman guards some experience because they're going to have to come in and, you know, he just made a three for us right there. They're going to have to come in and be big, you know, when we have players leave in the future. So it's good to go ahead and get them some experience in these situations.
Absolutely. Walker with a great-looking shot there. Walker just a tad out of control, but I think he is more slow developing than most of the freshmen on this team, and I think that's shown. Is this, you know, you look down the roster and you think it's a pretty young team, but in all honesty, it's really not because you got a couple of transfers. As Tarek Smith with a straightaway three rims out on him. That's a good-looking shot from Tarek, just didn't fall. So out front goes Lane with a three, no good. Back iron, rebounded with authority by Newby. Now Newby throws it away.
Exactly what we're talking about right there. You know, just a easy turnover right under the basket, which, you know, creates points or creates opportunity for the Hiwassee team.
That time, really, it was just not even going out of bounds. He just rebounded too far under the goal and didn't really have anywhere to go with it. First one up for number 23, Davidson. It's good. It's number 50, Pavlenko, subbing in. 6'8" freshman.
We also had number 30, Elias, and number 15, Turner, both sub in for the Bulldogs.
Thank you.
Coach Burton's not stopping, you know, rotating players in. We're going to continue to see that throughout this game and throughout the year because that's obviously what's working for the Bulldogs. So
it's a good time to run your offense with the different players out on the floor, see what works, see what don't work. As you know, these coaches do rely a lot on film. I know you know that with Coach Curry. As Tarek misses a shot, Smith then puts it right back in. 64-33 is your score. Union extending this lead even further.
And when you have a lead like this and you're playing, you're playing as well as they are, there's no reason not to let some other players get some experience in these situations, get experience running the plays. You never know who you're going to need in conference. You never know who's going to be in foul trouble one night. And so it's definitely good that Coach Burton is using this time to get some other players in, get them a little bit of time and a little bit of experience.
They're deep at just about every position, and we've talked about how deep that bench is. I mean, they can go two deep at every position, almost 3 deep at the point guard position if they wanted to. So, Coach Burton got a very deep team, and I think he has the makings of a conference championship team, but know how tough it is to win down there in Kingsport.
Knock on wood there, John.
Yeah,
but we've been saying the same thing. This is one of the best teams, the best team I've seen since I've been here for my 4 years, and I know other people that have been here longer saying the best team they've seen in a long time. They have everything. They have
the making of a great team.
They have everything that they need. So it's up to them to use what they have, and hopefully we'll see conference championships out of both the men and women's team this year.
Turner with a great opportunity there as he didn't pick that one up. Instead, just beat his man down the floor, kind of bodied him just enough. That one kicked out to Tarek Smith. Another wide open 3. No good. Bounces off. Almost out of bounds. Going to be touched last by Elias. No, it's going to be last touched by Hiwassee. Union's going to keep it.
You may have cursed us, John, on the shooting on this side. I don't know.
I
think we've hit maybe 1-3 so far, but
what I say is Coach Burton.
Luckily, we have a big enough lead where I don't think it's going to hurt us too bad.
Yeah, 66-33. Union all over Hiwassee here as 11:56 to play in the game. It's been all Bulldogs thus far, and can't say it enough. This Hiwassee team, they're a lot better, in my opinion, than that Alice Lloyd team that come in and that Crown come in.
Oh, I definitely agree. They have more key components. They have the players that can match up with our Bulldog players. They have the athleticism that matches up with us. Unfortunately, they're just not. They're not executing down there and finishing their shots, and they're not able to stop us on the defensive end, which is a big plus for the Bulldogs.
Yeah. So after the timeout for Coach Burton, just want to make sure everything is in line here down the stretch. You look 11:56 left. You're down. You're up 66-33. You've doubled this team up. Now look for the Bulldogs to run a lot of offense here late.
Yeah, definitely get some of their sets in. Really working on. Executing and what they can do in their sets and running the offense, and that's going to be a big key going into conference play. I mean, conference teams know what you're going to do, so you're going to have to be able to execute. You're going to have to be able to do all the little things in order to create offense, because shots do not come easy when you're in conference.
And learn to play with a lead as well. I know one certain team that cannot play with a lead. I'm not going to mention any names on that. As 66-33 is your score. 11:43 remains in the game.
I definitely feel the sting off that one, John.
They just took a shot at the women's team. No big deal. It's back out front. A long 3 on the way from Johnson. Back iron, no good. Tipped around, rebounded by Hairston.
Exactly what the Bulldogs are doing tonight is what the women need to do as well. Just keep that intensity, keep that momentum, and don't let up. No matter how much you're up, do not let up. A game can change at any point in time. 11 minutes is a lot of time on the clock. We've come back from, bigger deficits, and any team is capable of doing that. So you can't come in and play relaxed when you do have a lead.
Especially on this level. I mean, if this is a high school game, I would say, call it. But on a collegiate level, you got some guys that can knock down some shots and get hot.
And anything can happen.
With that being said, though, if they don't cut this lead a little bit going under 10 minutes, it's looking pretty grim for Hiwassee. Be a long ride home as Tarek Smith knocks home 2 free throws. It's maybe the calmest I've ever seen Coach Burton over there on the sideline.
I think he's pretty pleased with how they're playing right now, and he honestly doesn't have a lot to complain about. I mean,
I'm sure we'll find something on the postgame or on film. But not a lot of easy shots here from Hiwassee. 33 on the scoreboard for them.
That's what I like to see. They're not letting up on that defensive pressure, even though they are up. They're not giving them easy shots just because they're up so much. They're still playing, very pressured defense, and that's fun to see.
68-33 is your score. As this was just a 23-45 game at halftime. I say just, but just 10 points in this quarter for Hiwassee. Johnson working on Stevens. Goes down the lane. It's going to be a shot clock violation, as I didn't notice the shot clock, and neither did Hiwassee. Is great defense there for Union in a man-to-man.
I love seeing that when a team can play, great defense and make it so difficult and so hard for the other team to even get a shot off that they, end up running the shot clock out. They're playing great defense. They're really pressuring them when something like that happens.
As Stevens goes over the top to Johnson. Johnson's going to put it on the deck now. Spin move down the lane, goes up. No good, but he's fouled. As Golden commits the foul. He shakes his head no, but Johnson, very odd to see him out on the floor and then put it on the deck. I looked for him to kick it back out, but he said, no, I'm going to go to the rack.
He's so strong, too. I mean, if he's attacking you, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You have to almost attack him in order to keep him out of the lane, keep him from getting opportunities to score. And right now, Hiwassee's not doing much to stop us from scoring or getting shots, so getting good shots at that. So
68-33 is your scores. Johnson misses the front end of a 1-and-1. Next one on the way. That was 2 shots. So he makes the second one. Johnson's going to take a seat, and Archie Adams going to sub in.
The Bulldogs aren't pressing now, which is, we can obviously tell why. There's not much reason to press, but I would like to see them, as long as they're staying in man-to-man, work on the one-on-one defense, because that is going to come into play later on, and I think that is something that they do need to focus on. As you said, Burton had talked about that as well. So
as Brown causes a turnover there, and the Hiwassee player just went up and ran into the referee, but went and laid it anyway, and won. The referee got hit, and with contact. He should take the charge there, Stripes. 71-35, 9:47 left. You'd have taken the charge there, wouldn't you?
Oh, definitely.
Even if you were the official. I would have sold it. I would have fell.
It's nice to see Archie Adams coming in and producing rebounds, producing offensive boards and putbacks. So that way we know when Johnson is out of the game, we still have, a big man down low that's going to do their job and produce for us as well.
It's hard to keep Archie Adams off the floor, and I've heard Coach Burton say this, and I'm sure he won't mind me sharing, but Archie Adams was recruited on this team to be a practice player, to be a hard-working player in practice, maybe get some minutes, in foul trouble or at the end of games. But his hustle, you can't keep him off the floor.
And we just saw it right there, grabbing rebounds. He's a hard worker, and he's another strong body that gets in there. He rebounds, he does his job, and like you talked about, knowing your role, Archie Adams knows his role. He comes in, he plays with intensity and effort every single game, and he does what he needs to do. He doesn't try to do too much, but he always produces for us, and I love to see that.
And I've said this before, you can't keep a guy off him off the floor because, in that Reinhardt game early, 7 offensive rebounds. I mean, he just kept it alive every miss. He got great positioning. I'm a big Archie Adams fan as well.
You have to have those players, John. You have to have those players that are going to, like Gerard Newby and Archie Adams, that are going to get in there and they're going to rebound and they're going to do all the little things. And that's what you need, is somebody who's going to do the little things.
And this team is definitely bought in to that from Coach Burton, as up goes Johnson. He's going to be fouled by Hairston, as Johnson's going to go to the line. To the line goes Johnson after the aggressive take. First one on the way, good.
Transition defense there. He didn't run into much contact, going up to the rim. So he had to foul late as he was going up. So I think the transition defense and the one-on-one is something that when you're playing quick teams and you're playing teams that have a lot of guards that want to attack, it's definitely going to come into play, and they're going to have to do better at that.
8:36 remaining as Union all over Hiwassee, 71-37. Johnson puts it on the deck, trying to get to the line again, looking for somebody to throw it to. Throws it to the corner to Funchess. Archie Adams with another rebound. He hands it off to Turner.
Sean Brown is another one of those that he's not getting as many minutes as he was the first semester, but he can definitely produce. I mean, we've seen him come in this year and have 29, 30-point games, and I like to see him on the floor. I think he's a great defender, and I think he's a great player. So I definitely think that he's one of those players that can just be swapped in at any time, because he's still going to give you anything else you're going to get from any other player.
74-37 with 7:54 remaining. So it's been all Bulldogs. They had a almost, I think, a 22-point lead at halftime. They've extended this one up very healthy. Hiwassee still hanging around as best they can. As Harrison, he goes to the bench after hitting the big three.
It says a lot about our Bulldog team, though, John, coming into the second half, and they're up 22, and they've only let this team score 15 as of now in the second half. That says a lot about us not relaxing on the lead and, keeping that intensity and just, really stepping on somebody.
Yeah, now that this team is ranked, 25th, on the NAIA level, you don't have a lot as Nate Walker goes and hits the floater. You don't have there's not a lot of national exposure, obviously. So a lot of these coaches and things are looking at scores and who, not who you beat, but how much you beat people by. So, you're ranked 25th. You're trying to work your way up the poll. It's a good opportunity for Union to do so.
And Coach Curry always tells us, even though we haven't been the best at it this year, you need to play every team the same way. If you expect to stay in the top 25 and as a nationally ranked team, if you want to be top in the country, you have to approach every single team the same way, and you have to put people away. Letting people stick around and have confidence to play with you. You have to let them know, we're a top 25 team. We're here and we're gonna step on you from the get-go. And that's what great teams do. That's what nationally ranked teams do.
Union been doing that pretty well thus far as Sean Brown goes to the line after he gets the block as Tyler Wagner subbed in the game. Great to see Wag back in the game as he had a nasty cut there on his arm and had to take a couple of weeks off. So I saw him shooting around. I think it was last weekend. I told him I think I'm a better shooter than him now. So it's great to get him some game experience here. Let him get his three-pointer back because shooting around in practice is a lot different from going in the game and shooting. Everybody knows that.
It definitely is, and we've seen Wagner put up a lot of shots at crucial times in games over the years that he's played here at Union. And you never know when we're going to need somebody to come in and light that spark. And Wagner's been that spark multiple times before. So we definitely need to get him back in the flow so when he is in the game, he's ready at all times to shoot the ball.
There's Wagner with the ball now as he throws it away. As he's going to have to work on the strength in that arm as well, as he had he couldn't work it out, couldn't shoot with it, couldn't do anything with it. So saw that there as that was not a strong pass from Wagner. As that ball's tipped around, Wagner does pull down the rebound, almost has the ball taken away from him. It's going to be a foul. That's going to be 7 for Hiwassee, so now Wagner gets to walk the length of the floor and shoot the free throw.
He definitely does have, some things to work on coming back and being out. It's never easy coming back from, any length of time of being out. You have to really, get yourself back in shape, get yourself back in the flow of a game pace and of, game fundamentals. But Wagner's been, a great player for the Bulldogs the past few years, and I'm sure he'll jump right back into it and get it back in no time.
As Wagner's going to pick up the cheap foul there as number 3, Lazarick Boyd takes it to the hole, lays it in. 78-41 is your score. 6:24 remaining. Hiwassee sticking to their game plan. They haven't waved the white flag yet. Still attacking aggressively, make Union play defense. That's just good for Union. Turner going the other way quickly. Out to Walker. Walker wide open three. No good. Rims out. Hiwassee now going to run it the other way as there's Bailey. Bailey drops it. Now Sean Brown picks it up off the steal. Now out to Walker. Walker fakes the three. Step back. Now goes baseline. Throw it out front to Wagner. Wagner, three on the way. No good. As that's exactly what Tyler Wagner needs. Take those threes in the flow of the game.
Yep.
Get used to it again. Get that arm built up a little bit.
And that's why he's in, he's in now when there's not a ton of pressure on him and he can just, kind of relax. Let it fly. Let it fly and just get the flow back. And
as Brown splits the double team, as Walker dribbles it off his leg, a couple of sloppy possessions here. Now out on the right wing to Brown. Brown looks out front to Turner, but good defense by Hiwassee. Now out front to Turner. Turner drives the lane, loses it off of a Hiwassee defender, but Union's going to keep it on the baseline. So now Danny making his way into the game.
You can see those last few possessions, that we had some young guards on the floor. And like I said, the more experience they're getting, the better, because, those last few sloppy possessions just show that they're still not, all the way there and taking care of the ball. They're not all the way there in fundamentals and, holding the pressure down of a guard. But, they're getting experience now, which is only going to help the Bulldogs in the long run.
So Daniel Fernandez checks into the game. Union going very deep into that bench. 78-41, rightfully so. As number 3, Boyd, goes to the line for the free throw.
It's a quiet house here tonight, but...
Yeah, the student section fairly full as well, but, I mean, they haven't had anything to get up and really, chant or cheer or try to distract the other team. It's been all
Bulldogs,
yeah.
Hopefully we'll have a nice crowd coming out on Wednesday. It's a big home game, like we said, conference game, Milligan coming up. It's also, I'm almost positive, our Think Pink game. So we'd like to see a lot of support here for that. And conference games are always intense, and two great teams coming in both the men and women. So we'll definitely need a lot of fan support out here on Wednesday.
Turner gets the offensive foul on the screen. Player controlled, though, so no shots for Hiwassee. 78-42.
John, I think another key thing that we're going to have to look at over these next couple weeks is this men's Bulldogs team has a lot of games in the next 2 weeks. I think they have 3 a week, actually, when we've only been playing 2.
Yep.
So that's going to test not only their physical ability and their physical state, but it's also going to test their mental state, how focused they are for each game. So it's definitely going to be, interesting to see how they handle that, how they handle playing so many games in such a short amount of time. And
you got to get used to that as well, because in Kingsport for the conference tournament, it's going to be 3 games in 3 days, and you got to win them.
Back.
Yep. So
this Bulldogs team doesn't know what that's like yet.
Nope.
They lost first round last year, so they didn't have the back-to-back games. Whereas the women, we made it all the way to the championship game, and you could tell by the third day, you literally you're pushing with every little bit that you have left, because there's just not much left after playing back-to-back. You don't have a lot of rest time. You don't have a lot of preparation time. So,
and you also, emotion comes into play in those games as well, as Dalton Whitney comes in and Maurice Turner comes out. But emotion comes. You guys had an emotional win last year against Tennessee Wesleyan in that Reinhardt game. It's like, where can I pull that emotion from again the next day so early? It's just tough.
It was.
You have a close game against somebody, and then all of a sudden, you're in another close game the next day. It's very hard to put that emotion.
It's very emotionally draining.
Yep.
You're exactly right about that. We had such an incredible win over Tennessee Wesleyan the day before, and the emotion and the intensity and just the heart that went into that game. It was almost like we used it all up, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but it was just like the next day we were grasping for that back, and it was like we had just drained ourselves of that. So, this is good preparation for the boys to play these games, this many games in such a short amount of time, to get them prepared for the conference tournament in hopes that they'll be there all 3 days.
Fernandez had a no-look pass there to Elias. Got the bench over there up on their feet over there. Now this is what I'm always a fan of as well, is how the bench reacts to the players that don't get to play much out there on the floor. I always like to see that from the guys who gets a lot of time, from the guys who don't really get a lot of time. It's a lot of fun to watch.
And I've seen almost 4 different teams since I've been here my freshman year, because we've had so many boys coming in and out. But this team, they're so supportive and encouraging each other. You always see them staying after practice and helping each other shoot or working on something that they need to work on. Players that are struggling, the other teammates are picking them up. When players like this do come in the game, the bench is still, supportive and, rooting for the best for them. And I think that has a big factor of how well they play at, their chemistry as a team and how well they've been playing this year.
One of the closest, like you said, closest men's team that I've seen since I've maybe been here at Union.
Definitely.
Definitely a family, as Coach Burton sends Tyler Wagner back in. He's going to check in for Elias. So Walker and Fernandez, Wagner, Brown, and Whitney out there on the floor for the Bulldogs.
In this last 3 minutes here, I'd really like to see the Bulldogs, take care of the basketball and just, execute like we were talking about earlier. We do have some players in that, don't get as much playing time. So it'll be good to see them, take care of the ball and, do their jobs and play their role.
As Fernandez goes backdoor to Walker, kicks it out to Whitney. Whitney thinks about the three, goes down the lane, lays it up, and no good. Back iron, rebounded by Brown temporarily. And now Fernandez with a steal in the open court. Back off to Brown. Brown goes down the lane. Man got away with a walk. It's going to be a foul instead. I will say officials, even though this is an 82-46 game, they've called it from the opening tip all through the game the same way.
They definitely have. There's no complaints about officials here tonight. They've been very consistent the entire game, and what they're calling on one end, they're calling on the other. And as we can tell by fouls, fouls are almost, perfectly even both halves. So
what was a foul with the 5-point game has been a foul with the 40-point game. So very impressive there by the officials. It's Brown back to the line. That one's up and no good. Rims out. Rebound by Hiwassee. It seems like this is the first Hiwassee offensive possession in a while, I guess, because Union's had it a while on their end. But 2:42 remaining. Union all over Hiwassee. As there's another foul. It's going to send Hiwassee to the line. It's going to be number 10. That's Lane. As now, May can put the proverbial fork in Hiwassee, because I don't think they're going to come back from this deficit with 2:38 remaining.
No, I don't think so. And, the Bulldogs, they did a great job. Stretching out the lead and keeping the energy and intensity when they very easily could have relaxed and, let them get back into the game. So that was a great job on their part.
Whitney fires one ahead to Brown. Brown over in the right corner to Whitney. He dribbles out. Whitney's going to take the long three, fade away. Barely draws iron, tipped around, and now going the other way is Hiwassee. Lane drives baseline, goes up against Fernandez. It's going to be a foul on Gagne. You don't think he fouled him. As Lane going to go back to the line. This time for 2 instead of 1 in the bonus.
I will say this, though. Being a player, the league and the way the fouls are called this year has made it much more difficult to defend one-on-one when you're playing man-to-man, because you can almost have no contact. They tell you, you can have that first touch, and then after that, the second touch is a foul. So it's almost, it's hard when somebody's driving to the lane.
Absolutely.
And it happens to us all the time. It happens to the men's team all the time.
You want to put that hand. You want a hand check.
And it's almost impossible not to get your body up against them. So, that is something different that players have had to, deal with and work on overcoming this year because of how the calls have been changed a little bit from previous years.
As a player on a collegiate level, did Coach Curry at the beginning of the year start preaching about that? Did you guys start playing in practice like that to prepare for the games?
Yeah.
Or was it kind of?
We definitely did. He definitely said, when we're in practice and we have our hands on each other, or when we're sliding to defend, because this year we've played more zone than we ever have. And I know a lot of teams have been like that for both men and women's. And that was something he chose to do because we were getting in a lot of foul trouble, because it's almost just, impossible. Nice three by Tyler Wagner there. I'm glad to see that, his first game back, and that'll definitely give him some confidence for the next games.
Welcome back, number 23, as he drains the long three, 86-48. But 134 remaining.
We definitely did. We had to prepare, and we talked about it a lot, and the refs really reiterated every single game. They say we're calling hand checks, we're calling the body. So that is why a lot of teams have resorted to more zone, and why zone has been more successful.
86-48 your score, 128 remaining. First one up and good for number 24, Joel Bailey.
It's definitely safe to say that that this one's over. Luckily, Bulldogs pulling out a win. But I would still like to see him, finish out the game strong. Don't have little small petty fouls. Just continue playing the game strong as they have been the whole entire night, and finish this one on a good note.
Absolutely. Guess this pretty much we can move on to that Milligan game coming up on Wednesday. What time you guys tip off?
Women will be at 5:30, and the men will be right after at 7:30.
So we'll have the pregame for you coming up at 5:15. I don't think you could do the women's game because you got to play. But hopefully we'd have you on again, Mario. You did a good job, really good job today.
Thank you. It's been a blast. I mean, I was a little nervous at first, but coming in and
once you get in the groove, it's
coming
cake.
in and being on this side of it, as I said before, rather than actually playing, it's fun, it's exciting.
Well, it's like me. I never was good enough to play collegiate sports, so why not call collegiate sports? Was my view on it. So.
Exactly, and when you play basketball, the majority of people that do play have such a passion for the game. I mean, it doesn't leave whether you play in high school, whether you play in college. I mean, you still have that passion for the game. So even getting to continue, which is what I hope I get to do after college, getting to continue being a part of it in some way is awesome.
Yeah, it's October 15th rolls around, and I miss basketball because we'd always have Midnight Madness in high school, and every time that date rolls around, I'm like, 4 years ago I was in a gym, so. Getting ready to play. So 39 seconds remaining, 89-50 is your score.
That was a nice rebound and put back by Sean Brown. Glad to see him being aggressive tonight, coming in and still playing with no fear and, not worrying about mistakes, but just playing.
They've always said, I say they always said, but Coach Tanner Massey and Coach Burton, they speak volumes about Sean Brown in practice. He's always the best player in practice, always brings it. So, it's kind of caught on to the rest of this team as Coach Massey over there going down the sideline, high-fiving all his guys. As we're under 10 to play, Union should just dribble this one out. As Whitney.
Exactly what they're going to do.
Yep. As this one is going to come to an end, Union wins it 89-52 as they move on to 18-3 overall. As we're going to take a break, we're going to come back with final game stats and analysis, and also we're going to have Coach Burton on. So we'll be right back. You're listening to the Bulldogs Sports Network. Stay with us.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I'm a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Whether it's new or used parts you need, car parts, truck parts, SUV parts, foreign and domestic parts, any part from A to Z, Davis Salvage and Auto Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin has it or can find it. Davis Salvage specializes in late model auto and truck parts. For over 40 years, the Davis family has supplied customers all over the United States with new and used auto and truck parts. Davis Salvage open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. or online at davissalvage.com. Take a look at their inventory. Davis Salvage and Truck Parts on the Cumberland Falls Highway in Corbin, the only place to go for all your vehicle needs.
Pool parties are making a huge splash at the new Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center in Barberville, home of the area's only indoor Olympic-sized swimming pool. Guests will enjoy 2 hours of fun in both the pool and party room. Parties are now being scheduled for any day of the week. Book yours today. Call 546-0005 or visit us on the web at stiverscenter.org. Stivers Aquatic and Wellness Center. It's good for you.
I'm at the top of my class.
I am pursuing a double major.
I am a student athlete.
I am pursuing a postgraduate degree.
I am a helping hand.
I am from England.
I am an aspiring artist.
I am a future doctor.
I'm a soldier.
I am inspired.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
I'm the first college graduate in my family.
I am a fan of classic literature.
I am a fine arts major.
I am strong in my faith.
I am a fitness fanatic.
I am a champion.
I am working my way through college.
I am ambitious.
I am a Southern Belle.
I'm a single parent in college.
No matter what describes us or what our goals may be, there is one thing we all have in common.
Together we are Union.
Think big about a small school. Think Union. Visit unionky.edu.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bulldog Sports Network. As Union moves on to 18-3 overall, win this one 89-52 over Hiwassee. As quickly we're going to break down final game stats while we wait on Coach Burton. Only one player in double figures for Hiwassee. It was David Lane, who had 11. After that, a host of players for Hiwassee scored. Just going to go down the line. Jeff Golden had a 4 and 7 rebounds as well. 2 for Justin Browner, 4 for Howie Meadows, 6 for Thomas Funches, 4 for Boyd, and 2 for Keith Mack. 6 points for both Davidson and Bailey. 23% from the field for the game for Hiwassee. Great defense by the Bulldogs. 11% from 3. 74% from the charity stripe for Hiwassee. And now moving on to Union. Leading them in scoring tonight was Deontay Johnson, who had 6 points. He did so on 6 for 9 shooting from the field. Also shot 4 for 6 from the charity stripe. 9 points for Fitzgerald White. 8 points for Gerard Newby. 4 points for Michael Buter. 7 points for DeAndre Stevens. 6 points for Sean Brown. 2 points for Maurice Turner. 2 points for Danny Fernandez, 7 points for Nate Walker, 3 points for Tyler Wagner, Tarek Smith, also in the only other player in double figures for Union with 10, 6 points for Archie Adams, and 9 points for Sean Harrison. Union shot 49% from the field, 30% from 3, and 70% from the arch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 players on the scoreboard there for the Bulldogs. Union led pretty much from tip-off to the end of the game. They led by 22 at halftime. Extended that one, obviously, here to the end of the game, 89-52. Fast break points, 21 for Union, 6 for Hiwassee. Points in the paint, 30 for Union and 16 for Hiwassee. Second chance points, both teams had 2. And from the bench, Union doubled up Hiwassee 45-25. Final score, 89-52. Mara, complete game there for the Bulldogs as we asked for.
Yes, it definitely was. They definitely played the full 40 minutes, just like we talked about in pregame, and that was a big factor. They didn't let up, and obviously the results showed it.
Absolutely. So, a quick programming note before we do get Coach Burton on, because he complained last time because I didn't give him time to relax when he got up here. So I'm letting him catch his breath and look over the stats. But we'll have those games for you coming up on Wednesday. Quick programming note is 5:15. I believe 5:30 is when you guys tip off, right? So we'll have 5:15 pregame, and we'll have the men coming up for you right after that one. So, Mara, stick around. We're going to get Coach Burton on, and then we'll come back and wrap up, okay?
All right.
So join us now, Coach Burton.
I got somebody up here who knows what to talk about.
And taking a shot at me as he comes on air as Bulldogs win it 89-52. Coach Burton, what do you take from that one?
Well, I take it's finally in 2 years we finally got somebody up here in the broadcast booth who knows what they're talking about.
I agree. Martin did fantastic.
But no, I was real pleased. You know,
I could tell.
This I don't know. I mean, they're not that many points talent-wise, worse than us.
I agree with that.
You know, they had Wesleyan on the ropes and lost by 1.
Yep.
Tennessee Wesleyan, and they've played several teams in our conference. Good, they've won a few. So, I was very pleased. I told my team in the locker room, they're meeting with them briefly, that probably my favorite thing about tonight is what's been developing for 2 years, really. But is I don't know if you noticed, and I know we had a lead, but even when it was a tight game, I wasn't doing a lot on the sideline. Because our team, we try to have a transparent program, and our team, they're over there on the bench saying things that I would be thinking or saying as far as where they should be standing defensively, our screening actions, the angles of our screens, where the ball should have gone. I mean, all those kind of things. Everybody's holding each other accountable, and I say it's helpful and selfless, and that was something I liked, because there was a lot of times I was thinking it, and one of our players would yell it out from the bench, and it's not that they're aimlessly yelling it. It's communication. The other player on the floor is turning to receive that information and acknowledges that person.
They're not yelling to be yelling.
No. Yeah, it's a helpful scenario, and I like that. And of course, you saw tonight it was a collective effort, and just like this whole season, the last person to get in the game was our starting point guard for 10, 12 games, and is a dang good player. I'm talking about Dalton Whitney. And of course, I don't ever think in terms of second string and first string and third. all I know is he hadn't got to play a lot lately because we've added personnel, and it's just fun to see him get in. And of course, he deserves to play more. He's a good player, and he gets in there and just is really good. Solid, makes the right play, simple play. And a lot of times that situation in the games, people get in and it's kind of ugly and sloppy time, and for us it wasn't. So, but I was very pleased. I thought we executed. I liked our effort. I liked a lot of things tonight.
Yeah, I know you talked about how this team did. We're right neck and neck with Wesley, and I told Martha several times that team had a making of a middle-tier AAC team, in my opinion. They matched up with you guys well, and I thought there for a while it was going to be a game, but like you said, your guys really kept the foot on the throttle and never strayed away from the system that you guys were trying to run.
And I agree, and I really liked the way we guarded. It was a little sloppy at times, but the effort and attitude behind it was relentless. And even guys that I don't think knew how to spell the word that defense started with the letter D were actually on the bench being helpful to others on how to do this, how to do that. And I turned more than one time and looked at the kid and thought to myself, is that really, I'm not going to name any names, is that really such and such telling such and such how to guard? And of course they realize, I don't know if you see, I don't know who our worst player is, I don't know who our best player is, but whoever they are, the margin between those two is not very great.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
And one of the factors is when they know when they get in, they're getting evaluated, and it's no time to keep your guard down. They're trying to work themselves up or keep themselves up on depth chart status types things, playing time wise, and so that's another factor that's really nice when you have a lot of good players and I just tonight was our fast break not our transition, but our fast break the 3 versus 1 or 3 versus 2 or 4. It's not been good this year. We seem to figure out how to make the lowest percentage play in those situations.
Yeah.
And in the last 2 or 3 games, it's starting to get cleaned up a little bit. And in a game like this, there were several of those opportunities. And all in all, it was better, and it needs to continue to get better because we get a lot of those opportunities, and it's frustrating that we're about 50% shooters on fast breaks when that ought to be an 85 or 90% scenario. So that was good to see that it's continuing to improve.
And we talked about overall team defense. What about your man-to-man defense tonight? Because I know that's something that you had talked about up here on the broadcast before that you weren't happy with, were happy with. Did you see any strides tonight out of these guys?
I thought so. The biggest thing, I don't know if you can hear it up here with the headsets on, but our communication level, without me begging them or coaching them hard or screaming at them or taking them out of the game, that's continuously gone up throughout the season. And it is, in my opinion, it is a virtual impossibility to be a solid or good defensive team if you're not talking with one another, telling each other what's going on. You know, people that maybe are casual observers of basketball, if you come out and watch us in a practice, whenever it's a 3-on-3 live scenario, anytime we go live, you are probably going to hear multiple people talking very loudly, yelling, screaming with each other, and the difference is early in the season we would do it in practice, it wouldn't carry over into a game. Now it's carried over into a game and in game situations. It has for a while now, and it's continuing to get better. And that's probably more than just where they're standing and their positioning, and that was the part that I appreciated because it's getting better and better. And they want to do good. I mean, you can feel it now that they want to. I mean, they wanted to do good from day one, but they really are striving to want to do the right thing, and they can feel each individual person can feel themselves. Hey, I think I'm starting to get these kind of things, and I'm getting it now. So that was good to see.
Any final thoughts before I get you out of here?
None.
None whatsoever. Thank you very much, Coach. I'll see you Wednesday. How about that?
Thanks, John.
Thank you very much. As Bulldogs win it here, 89-52 over Hiwassee. As Coach Burton is going to hand it back over to the tag team partner here tonight, which is Mara Rice's. Mara, good win here for the Bulldogs. Pretty much what we expected there from Coach Burton, kind of what we were talking about during the game. It's always good. So Bulldogs going to win tonight. Any final thoughts from you?
Not too much. I just think that's what they need to do every game. Take every team the exact same way, like we said, being a top 25 team in the nation. They need to stay that way. So they need to approach every team the same way, come out with same intensity, same effort, and give us a full 40 minutes. And, if they keep doing that, they're a big threat to a lot of teams.
Absolutely. Mara, good job tonight. You did fantastic. I hope to get you on one more time before the end of the year. Hopefully we can do that.
Well, it's been great being here, and I'm, glad I had this opportunity, and I, hopefully do hope I get to do it again. at least the few more months while I'm here.
We heard Coach Burton. He said somebody up here knows what they're talking about. He took a shot at me there, so may just take my job. So anyway, we're going to get on out of here. Bulldogs win at 89-52. We will be back on air Wednesday, 5:15 for pregame. Me and Mason will have that doubleheader for you. But for all my cast and crew, from John Gatto, Jay Stansel, my sports information directors, for Jessica Frisbee, my producer, for Mason Either, my cameraman, Mara Ross has been my color commentator. I've been John North, the voice of the Bulldogs, and I will catch you down the line.
Sponsors who made today's broadcast possible on the Bulldog Sports Network. You can listen to today's broadcast at any time on demand and find scores, schedules, rosters, and recaps only at ucbulldogs.com. The Union College Athletic Department would like to thank all of our corporate sponsors who made today's broadcast possible on the Bulldog Sports Network. You can listen to today's broadcast at any time on demand and find scores, schedules, rosters, and recaps only at ucbulldogs.com. The Union College Athletic Department would like to thank all of our corporate sponsors who made today's broadcast possible on the Bulldog Sports Network. You can listen to today's broadcast at any time on demand and find scores, schedules, rosters, and recaps only at ucbulldogs.com. The Union College Athletic Department would like to thank all of our corporate sponsors who made today's broadcast possible on the Bulldog Sports Network. You can listen to today's broadcast at any time on demand and find scores, schedules, rosters, and recaps only at ucbulldogs.com. The Union College Athletic Department would like to thank